How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I am so glad that you can make it. Today is another special video. It's one of those long distance collaboration videos. Who is it with? What are we doing? Well, you'll have to wait just a second to find out. Look at that bad boy. This collaboration is going to be with another cool guy who also owns a Camaro. He owns a ZL1 Camaro, bright red. Oh my goodness, what a thing of beauty. And he's done some really cool mods to it. The name of his channel is FasNuf Garage. So please welcome FasNuf Garage.
Wait, stop. No, this is Camaro Time. Hey everybody, this is Mark with FasNuf Garage. And he has something different in store for you. Hey everybody, I'm Mark. I'm with FasNuf Garage, and thanks for checking out our video today.
Thank you for that welcome. He's got a really cool car and a really cool channel. Like I said, he's done a lot of great things. And the way this is going to work, if you haven't watched any of the other videos like this that I've done two now, and I'll try to remember to put the links up there so you can watch them. And what we're going to do is we have 5 questions for my channel, 5 questions for his channel. We're both going to answer them on mine, and then you'll have to go over to his channel to watch the other 5 questions. They're all really cool things. Rain coming, starting to drizzle now. But you have to go to his channel to watch the other 5, and that's the way it's going to work. That's what makes it cool, you know, cross promote and all that good stuff. So without further ado, or without hesitation as they say, the first question.
Hey Pete, so I know some of your other fans are probably curious too, but you're pretty talented at carpentry. So curious where you learned that. I mean, that chicken coop is better than my house. So, no, really, it looks like you got some good skills there, and I can't wait to see it done. This is going to be my chicken coop. Now we're just starting out. We didn't do so good with the garden last year, so kind of hoping that we can get this set up, have a heater, a door, a roost, place for them to lay their eggs, and we're only going to have 3 or 4 chicks, so for a starter it's okay. If everything goes well, we're going to be giving the 10 by 12 shed to them, and I'm gonna have a different shed for the garden tools and everything. So anyway, curious how you got those carpentry skills. So I know your fans are probably pretty interested in knowing a little more about you, and so I know I am, and being on your channel for quite a while.
Oh man, I tell you what, we had a close call last night. As you can see from all this wet ground, we got a heck of a rain, and that brings us out because we had a close call. What am I talking about? Look at that. Oh my goodness, that was so close. And I do not see anywhere that it hit. So that is super good. Because as you can see, that's pretty good size land. First up on the list, where did you get your carpentry skills? I honestly just had to learn them over time. The reason I say that is because when the wife and I first got married, neither one of us were well off or affluent, if you could say, so we've always had to do things on our own. So I couldn't always buy her the things that she wanted or buy the things that I always wanted, so I had to learn how to make them, like a storage building or even a house. Our house in South Carolina, I built that by hand. Father-in-law had helped a little bit with the sheetrock and everything, but the framing and the electrical wiring and everything, I did all that myself by hand. But here we go. Here's one of the projects I'm currently working on, the chicken coop. As you can see, it's coming a little bit a mess right now because I'm trying to keep all this on here to keep it from getting wet. I started putting the wire on it, as you can see. Hit some wire on it. but it started raining again. You know, there's proof of it, all that water. But the wife wanted a little bit of pink, so we put some pink on the doors. There's a shade of green with gloss white. And we've got the roof system. I've done every bit of this work myself. Now, if I needed an extra hand, like holding something that's long, the wife actually helped in everything. But as far as the actual design, the construction, the idea, everything, that all comes from right here. And like I said, I've always had to learn how to do the stuff myself. If I don't know how to do something, I get a book, I look at it, and go to it. That's how you learned back when I was growing up as a kid. We didn't have YouTube and Facebook and Vimeo and all those fine things that everybody has now. People now have it so easy compared to the 60s and even early 70s as far as that goes. But that's how I got my carpentry skills. I've had to learn everything on my own. Like I said, I can wire a house, I can plumb a house, I can frame a house, I can finish, detail a house. I can do it all from beginning to end. The only thing I can't do is the cement work. If I could do the cement work, I'd be rich right now.
So hey Pete, I was also curious, you know, besides cars and YouTube, what kind of hobbies do you enjoy?
Man, I tell you what, this year has been one crazy year. The virus, the riots, and the weather. As you can see, it was just pouring down rain. Now the sun's out. I cannot catch a break. The best place to be right now is up in the space station. But what hobbies do I have other than YouTube? I used to have a bunch, to be honest with you. I used to do archery. I really love doing that. I love the competition. I love seeing new things, trying different shots, challenging myself to pull off shots that are really hard, and most people would say can't be done. I mean, I've pulled off some good ones, but right now there's, you know, I've narrowed it down over the past few years because of health issues and just wanting to spend more time with my wife and everything. But I still have a couple. One of them being working on my cars. I really enjoy working on them, maintaining them, detailing them, keep them as clean as I can. And outside of that, going to car shows. I really love going to car shows. I like seeing everybody's different taste. I like seeing the old, the new, the cross, you know, what's called a resto mod now, where they take modern technology, put it in old cars, and all that good stuff. But if I had to list it to just one, and it's always been there, I've always done it, and I always enjoy it, and that's photography. Really enjoy doing it. Everywhere I go, I've got at least a camera, whether it be this, my phone, or the GoPro. I've got several cameras, and I've got a multitude of lenses, from short, like a 50mm, to this one, which is a 24-105, all the way out to a 400. And they all serve different purposes depending on what I'm doing, but I really love doing the photography. I like photoing people, but you know, that can be kind of finicky and quirky at times, if you know what I mean. So my favorite thing to photograph is wildlife, whether it be birds or stuff out in nature, pets, anything like that, flowers, you name it. I love photographing it. I've always got a lens and camera pointed at something. So to answer your question, yes, photography. How about you, Mark? What hobbies do you have?
At one time I had a drum set in here. That was well, it was in the house at our old old place, but this house out here, we got a smaller house on a bigger piece of property, so the drum set couldn't stay inside, and well, the garage isn't heated or cooled, and here in Oregon it can be pretty hard to want to play it. I know for myself it kind of flip-flop back and forth. I mean, if money was no object, I really like the Koenigseggs or the McLarens, but I mean, I know my wife wouldn't like to ride around in those, so I guess I kind of fall back on the Bugatti Veyron. Very luxurious, lots of speed, lots of power. At first I didn't like it. I thought the front end, well, I thought it kind of resembled an Edsel. But if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think the Bugatti would probably be my dream car that was somewhat practical, but something I could afford. I mean, that is in somewhat of a reach for me. I like the new Corvette C8. At first I wasn't quite sure about it, but it's really grown on me. I think it's going to be a big hit, especially when the Z06 and ZR1 models come out. Also curious what your dream car is.
What is my dream car? That's a loaded question because there's so many really good ones out there. Now the first one I know is going to draw a lot of attention, a lot of heat when I say it, but you know, you have to go back to the beginning. And where does it begin? It begins with the Mustang. Yes, the Mustang. I would actually like to have a 1966 GT350. Why this 66? Because the 60, I know there was a 65, but the 66 is more refined. Everything is brought, it's just being taken to the optimal level and everything compared to the 66. The white with the blue stripes. Yes, it's iconic. It's the beginning of the muscle car area. I know the GTO has supposedly started everything, but let's face it, the Mustang GT350 is a bad ride. Now, yes, there's going to be a Camaro on the list, and that would happen to be the 1969 Z01. Why not the Copo, everybody will be wondering. Well, the Copo is a stripped down version, and it's meant to do one thing, go fast in a straight line, and that's it. No radio, no AC, no nothing. Whereas the 69 Z01, you can actually get it with those options if you so select it. But you know, it's got the all aluminum 427 and everything in it, and it is just a super great ride. The prices are astronomical. That's why I don't own one. If I ever win the lottery, I will get one. But yeah, there you go. And I'm gonna keep it going because there's 3 cars on my dream list from that era, and there's actually one modern. I know it said, what is your dream car? But if I could have any one of these cars, it would be a dream. The other one is the 1970 AAR Plymouth Barracuda. I mean, this thing was made for going around the track. Not straight line, but curves. And it's still, you know, you can get it in sublime green, you get it in the that crazy orange they had. It's just a wild ride. Exhaust coming out in front of the back tires. It's low. It's just a beautiful work of art. So that takes care of all the past cars that would make it as a dream car for me. And let's get up to the modern cars. What would be my modern dream car? My modern dream car wouldn't even be American. Believe that or not. I know, Corvette, the new C8 just doesn't do it for me. My modern dream car would be the Aston Martin DB11. I mean, it's just a gorgeous car. No, it's not because the James Bond saga and all that stuff. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just a beautiful, simplistic in design. The curves are sexy. The interior is luxurious, but very functional. And it is just a wonderful car overall. So that is my dream car. Cars. Sorry for the long-winded answer, and I'm sorry there's multiple ones in there, but that's just, if I could afford anything, that would be it.
So hey, on one of your videos I saw, you were doing something at your work. You were cleaning up for the day, it looked like, getting ready to go home. And I noticed a digital volt ohm meter. Looked like a Fluke maybe. You know, I'm kind of into electronics and electrical things. I like to do my own, so I was curious what you did for work.
What do I do for a living? You saw me using a couple amp meters and you're curious about what I do for a living. Well, here goes. I showed these in a video before and people actually got there asking what I do for a living. So let me explain that real quick. I work for a company that manufactures food equipment. So what I do is I use those and a combination of other equipment to actually test or final test, electrical test the equipment and do final assembly. It doesn't go out the door until I say it's okay to go. It has to match the schematics, the wire drawings, and everything else. So I have various pieces of equipment that I use to test.
So I've had people ask me on my channel if I'm a GM mechanic, I guess because they see my coat. And it is a shop coat. I work in a shop. I'm actually a parts guy for a local municipality here in Oregon. So I've been a mechanic before, but that's not where I learned this stuff. I pretty much picked this up all throughout the years, working on cars, taking auto shop classes in high school, tearing apart my bicycle. Yeah, it all started real young. You know, my dad got me some tools and I used to take apart my toys. So I guess the last question for you is, if there's one thing that you could change about your car, what would it be? Would it be that? I know you really don't like that C-pillar there.
If I could change one thing about my Camaro, what would it be? Now this is going to be, since it's on my channel, I'm going to go ahead and do both of them, because if you don't know, I own two Camaros. This 1993 Z28 and I own a 2012 2SS Camaro. So for this one, I'm going to have to go under the hood to show you. I mean, look at this bad boy. She is a thing of beauty. She's dirty right now because we've had 2 weeks of nothing but rain. But let me go under the hood and show you. Pop the hood. As you can see, rain's coming now, drizzling. But this is what I would change. That right there. And what do I mean specifically? Look at this. Half of the engine is under the hood. I mean, literally half of the engine is under the hood. It's crazy. And as you can see, there is not any room. Right there is the steering shaft with the protector over it, so there's no room there. I mean, I want to put headers on this thing, and there's just literally no room. Over on this side there is some. I mean, it's better, but just look at that. Changing spark plugs on this thing literally takes all day, plugs and wires, because you have to run the wires and everything back behind all the exhaust and up under all the wiring harnesses and all that stuff, plus the water pump. And I thought about making this the one thing I could change, the water pump. It sits directly over the distributor. I would change the distributor location is what I would change, because like I said, it sits right under the weep hole of the water pump, which is a stupid design, and the wires have to hug the block to go behind the crank pulley and then down the side of the block up under all the exhaust. I thought about making that the one thing I could change, but I really love the engine overall, so I figured, yeah, let's make it a little bit simpler than that. But yes, change this, because look at how big this windshield is. I mean, look how long that is. From right there down, there's nothing but dash. And I know they did that to make it more of a 50-50 balance of the car so it'd handle better and everything, but they could have moved the cowl back a little bit. They could have done something, but yes, this is the one thing I would change on this car. Now, we're at the house with the red 2SS Camaro, so let's get in it and I'll show you what I would change on this car. Now Mark, you're right, that C-pillar really does aggravate me, but that's not the one thing that I would change. The one thing that I would change is actually simpler than that, and it has to do with in here, and it's actually right there and there. But right there, I would want the infotainment stereo system like what you have, the one with the touchscreen and everything in it. And I'll show you a picture of that in my car now. And the reason that I would want that is because, number one, it's got all the touchscreen, it's got navigation and all that, and I'll see if I can get it to work. But if you look up here, you can see the camera, and that's just no good at all. I mean, that's really no good. And look at that crazy fool. Just look at him. Here, let's get him down here where you can sing. That crazy fool. He ain't got no sense sitting out there like that. But yeah, Mark, that's what I would replace. I'd replace that.
This is about my view, and this bothers me right down here. This is probably my biggest pet peeve about this car. Besides that, and this being a little stubby thing that doesn't do much, this, I can't do anything about it. Oil pressure. I can't see it because of this big knob in the way. I mean, where I'm sitting, it looks about like this when I drive. So I have to put my oil pressure here, or I pick it up on this gauge. I thought, well, I'll just move this around. Well, you can't, because one corner has a curve, so they're set. You can't move them around. It would have been nice if maybe voltage was over here, because I don't care about voltage as much as oil pressure. I mean, I got to keep an eye on that, you know what I mean? So that's the thing I would change. That drives me bananas. They put that there and you can't see it. Maybe an aftermarket radio would fix it, but I like these knobs, and some of the aftermarket radios still use these knobs, so I don't think that would help as well. So yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve. I really hate that.
Well, looky here. We have wire. Yes, sir. I got all the wire up. It finally did not rain one day on the weekend, so I could get it done. Doors gonna go here. I'm actually gonna put in a Dutch door. For those that don't know what it is, a Dutch door is basically a top and a lower unit. There's a latch that goes in it and keeps them locked together. Then you open up the other latch and it allows the whole door to swing open, or you leave the bottom latch. Like if you want to throw some grass or bugs or whatever in there, you open this latch, push the top section open, and then you can throw it in, or feed, or whatever you want to do. Here you go. We're getting down to the final stages. Now I've got all this stuff here that is going to go on all these joints, right? And I'm going to case in the upper, the bottom, and the sides of the coupe. But there's a quick update. I just wanted to let you know that I finally got the wire on. We're almost finished. The ramp, the door, and a little bit of casing, and that's it. And I can come back later on and put the fascia board, because I want to put a fascia board across here and then cut this to length, because it's just a little bit too long, as you can see. So, but with all that said, I would like to send out a personal thank you to Mark from FasNuf Garage for participating in this. You know, it takes a lot for somebody to be willing to trust you to do the right thing with their footage and everything. I know it was a bit confusing, Mark. I know that I made it confusing, and it was tough times with the weather the way it is, but we pulled through it. We got it done. We got it worked out. Now we've got them done. So, you know, like I told you, everybody, if you will, go below, click on his link, go to his channel. He'll have the second 5 questions, and he's also got some really cool Camaro stuff. Got a beautiful, beautiful ZL1 Camaro. But with all that yapping and everything that you probably don't care about, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. For Mark over at FasNuf Garage and myself, Pete, at Camaro Time, we both would like to extend our thank yous and welcome you to do some more searching on our channels. Please, you might find something you like. If you like this content on my channel or on his channel, regardless, put some questions in below that you would like to know. Maybe we could do it again together, or maybe, you know, we could do an answer segment. Who knows? Who knows what tomorrow brings? But I got to get back on this. Wife's on her way home, and I need to get this finished. So until next time you see this, it will be different. Thanks for watching.